So we are rolling along, and we are currently at number 11, Marnie. And what is this one about? You may ask. Tippy Hedren stars as Marnie, a compulsive liar and thief who winds up marrying the very man, Sean Connery. She attempts to rob in a psychological thriller that races to an inescapable conclusion. And of course, we gotta go with the trivia for this sucker. And what do we have here, you may ask? Thinking it undignified for a princess to make her film comeback as a compulsive thief, Grace Kelly, Princess of Monaco, passed on playing the lead role in Marnie. Hitchcock's production company, Jeffrey Stanley, which was created for the film, was named after his dogs. That was kind of funny. After rehearsing with co-star Sean Connery, Tippi Hedren was said to have remarked to Hitchcock, "Marnie is supposed to be frigid. Have you seen him?" Reportedly, Hitchcock replied, "Yes, my dear. It's called acting." And here's his cameo. This one, it's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and that's like, the length is fine. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. I just think it was like the novel was, of course, purchased. They did an anonymous purchase, and this would typically work, but for some the author, who is curious, did a little investigation because of the generous price, and it turns out that after getting us like, hey, Alfred Hitchcock purchased it, and the author delighted that Hitchcock purchased it, said, hey, I would have given you the rights for free because I love your movies. So yeah. I don't know. It just feels like this was meant for Cary Grant and Grace Kelly. The leads are fine, but it just feels like I don't know. There's just something about it. I guess it has to do with some of the choices that just seem so strange. It's like, we've got the woman who's this thief, and who of course goes around stealing money and stuff like that, and she's got some trauma that she's dealing with, but it just feels like how they both get married about an hour in. It's just, I don't know. It's like, where does this jump come from? It's like we've got it's like we it's like we it's like, I don't know. We got this man who reads these books about animal behavior and does some psychoanalysis on Marnie, and it just feels weird. I don't know. It just feels illogical. I don't know. Am I the only one who probably thinks it's wrong? Because when this movie came out, it was mixed. There's some people questioning the leaps of logic and stuff like that. And, some people saying the performances like, I think the performances are fine. It's like, this is Hedren's like what, second big movie, and Sean Connery, who was like playing the first, like, his first non James Bond role. So it's like, so he does have a way with the ladies, which is actually kind of funny. But I don't know, it just felt like things were unbalanced, I guess. It's like, we've got thievery, we've got psychoanalysis, we've got a fox hunt, and we even have a horse named Forio, which, when translated from a Greek word, means stolen goods, so I guess that's pretty befitting. But it just seems like it just went all over the place. It's like, let's have this amazing shot of her. Let's show her being a thief. Let's actually get her getting certain information about how to access the safe of where it's like, because the boss can't remember the combination of the safe, he's got a little key, opens a lockbox. There's the actual combination of the safe. So let's get this amazing scene where there's a wide shot of Marnie going in and stealing absconding all the money, but let's also have a lady janitor, who could potentially steal, catch her, but then we eventually realize that she's deaf. That was a very tense scene, and I'm just like, hot dang, that's what I'm more of. I wanted like some more silent moments, but I guess maybe because it goes against all the tropes of Alfred of Hitchcock, I guess, and it just feels more like a straight up book adaptation. I just felt like it just didn't feel complete enough, but at the same time, I could see when it's dealing with certain things. It was just like, I don't know. Because then eventually in the last act, it goes into what caused the drama that was going on as young Marnie was fending off against a pervert who was having her way with her mother. Who the pervert was having his way with Marnie's mother, and she bills him. So in the blood, and every time she sees red, she gets traumatized. So it's like, I don't know. It just seems like there's just certain. It's like these things do get explored well in the best Hitchcockian way, but I don't know. When they have this fox chase, and like how they were dealing with like talking about horses, like which is meant to be like I don't know, a way to help comfort and cure. We help comfort and cure Marnie, and it's just like, okay. I mean, I don't mind the scenes, but it's just in the big. I guess maybe it was just in the beginning when so much stuff happens where she applies for a job. She, of course, has all the aliases and gets married to pretty ladies man Conroy. It's like, okay, yeah, you could have trimmed down some of that or maybe expanded on it more, and then you get to the suffering later, and the suffering is acted really well. But I don't know. It just felt like there was way too much happening in the first part. In the second half, things considerably slowed down. I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like the climax is fine. It's fine, but I don't know. It just left a bad taste in my mouth, I guess. So it's just the suspense is there. We ultimately find out what happens, and it feels resolute. But the ending just feels more dour. This ending was dour because like she finally got over it, but there's no like quick jump cut that he's known for. It's just more of a ending that just you could just feel the tension and the alleviation that happened. So I don't know. I mean, Bernard Herrmann still does a great score of like pop and classical, so that's always a great. And it's like there's this. It's kind of it's been also this movie is also described as German expressionism, like having the fake thunderstorms, the editing like towards the end, like when they're revealing like what happened to her. There's the disjointed camera angles, there's the black and white, but then we see the red. There's the I know I'm missing something else. The wide shots, how things look irregular. So compositionally, I love this movie, but again, it's just certain things ultimately just prevent me from truly putting this amongst like the top tiers. So it's like this movie is great. I mean, even during the fox hunt, is like, hey, how are we going to have all these horses running in place? Oh, let's have a giant treadmill. And some of the crew thought this isn't going to work. Somehow it went off with absolutely no problem. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. To me, it just feels like that. Parts of this movie are really really gosh darn good. Then again, there are some other things that it just doesn't work. It just ultimately feels like it just falls a little bit flatter. Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to see, something that one of his not super great entries, but one that you should at least watch once, then, I recommend that you watch Marnie.